what's your position, Natalie? CEO? She kept saying that through this episode, and I was like, where's Zeus? Like, I mean, where's Lemmy? Like, where's the actual CEO?
We my newbies look like Halle Berry.
Hi, lover girls. Hi, lover boys. This is Royalty Tea Room, and we're back with another recap of Baddies Africa, episode 3. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. All of that below. Turn on post notifications, and let's just kind of just dive into this episode. So it starts off when really Lex sneaking Scotty, but they kind of like replay like Tavi versus DTV and stuff. And I thought it was whack, just her sneaking Scotty. And let me just say this right off the bat.
Because that was the first time I was ever attacked like that by anybody. I've never been in a fight in my whole life until I came to the Bad Girls Clubhouse. And I think I handled myself pretty well.
I know everyone is just like, you know, Lex wouldn't be able to get Scotty, but my thing is, what's the issue? So I kind of just went back and did my research, and this is what I have gathered. And I am a fan of Scotty, but I'm going to put that aside. Scotty did not have an issue of the big three. Earlier episodes of Midwest, when Jayla and Summer were kind of going back at it, Scotty would be like, but Summer's funny, she's entertaining, etc., etc. Not obviously pumping her up, but just saying, you know, she's a funny girl, she's entertaining. One. Then, the night when they got to Hawaii, you know, with everyone talking about Rolly and Scotty and Natalie, Summer chimed in, and that annoyed Scotty. And Scotty was just, you know, going back and forth with Summer. Fine, right? Number 2. Time goes on. They're at the balcony scene. It's when Scotty is kind of talking to Tank, I believe, and Summer chimes in. And then Anna walks over, and Summer hits Anna, and then Scotty does kind of jump in and hits Summer twice. But then Lex comes up, hits Anna, says, you know, don't jump. So that, I guess, was the real only jumping situation for now, right? Then, sorry, I'm going to try to go through this fast. Then, at the dinner, it was Anna and Jayla on go, and, you know, Scotty was semi-ready. I'm only going to say semi because Summer was kind of walking around the table, attacked her first. Scotty defended herself, so they fought, defended herself, blase, blase. Lex was just like, oh, Scotty, I'm beating you up too. For what? You see what I'm saying? So the only logical reason up until the reunion would have been, I guess, Scotty throwing those 2 little itty-bitty punches. Mind you, Lex wasn't even there, so there's no proof. Of course, only the video evidence, but, like, when she was there in that moment, she didn't realize it, right? Fine, okay, you wanted to get your look back, fine. At the reunion, you got your look back. And when I say that, because when the little 3 ran up, it was Dolly and Summer targeting Scotty. Scotty tried to defend herself, and then Lex ran over. So it was basically them 3 versus Scotty until people fell over. Summer got her look back multiple times on Scotty. So, like I said, what's the reason for Lex fighting Scotty? She doesn't have an answer. Just say it's because Scotty's been talking online. But Scotty hasn't, because I also pulled up the receipts, and she did not mention Lex not one time unless it had anything to do with Summer, because Summer has been mentioning Scotty since Midwest. So I did a little digging. I know that was kind of long. I just had to say it because people keep saying, like, Scotty deserves it, Scotty deserves it. Okay, if she has a personal life and people are so invested, you should mind your business. I don't care about her personal life. It's not on camera. I'm talking about what's on camera. And Scotty has not antagonized Lex not one time. She's actually low-key been running from the fade just because she feels like there's no reason to fight. And I feel the same way too. So Lex is being a bully. She doesn't have a real reason to fight Scotty. And she never had a real reason to fight Jayla. So this is just, you know, person number 2 that Lex doesn't have a real reason to fight anyone. So I just wanted to get that off my chest because, ooh, it was just, ooh. Okay, next. But I peeped when DTV and Tavi were fighting. I heard Natalie say, take your little bandana thing off. You think you're cute. Natalie, she's always been a hater. So, I mean, I was just like, really? Isn't she like producer? Can't she like edit stuff out? I'm surprised she kept that in. So then Lex runs up on Scotty, and I feel like she didn't really do as much damage as I thought. I mean, she definitely was minking her, but Scotty kind of, you know, she didn't fall to the ground. I feel like with a run up like that and a sneak like that, she should have been definitely got her to the ground and, you know, bop, but it wasn't really that. But of course, I'm not delusional. She definitely won. I thought it was going to be on the floor type stuff. So then Lex said it was for jumping, and, you know, I kind of just went into that, but you did jump her, so it's like, but honestly, what made me laugh was Rolly's commentary. I was like, yo, Loki, funny. But I replayed it 4 times to make sure I wasn't tripping about Lex doing no damage. So I did definitely, I took my time. I was like, let me replay it, make sure. Definitely she was hitting her head, she was banging her head, but Scotty did not get to the floor. And I did see Scotty's arms kind of pop out when she realized what was happening. But at the end of the day, she snuck her, caught her off guard, all of that from behind. So no cool points at all. And Scotty never did that to them until it was done to her. Like at the reunion, when Scotty jumped, when, you know, Lex ran up on Anna from the side, Scotty jumped in because Lex jumped her first when they walked out. So exactly. Looks like Scotty was kind of hiding behind that one guard, like that. I think it was a light skinned person, and like I said, Lex doesn't have really a reason to do so. I don't know. So then they go again, but nothing really connects. It was quick. But now Scotty starts getting emotional because like Summer like lunges towards her, and it looks like she wants to hit Lex back. Like the way she was fighting, it was like she wanted to hit Lex back, but she didn't want Lex to hit her. And it's like, I get it, I get it. She's a big girl. However, when you know, fight someone, you have to prepare for the fact that they might hit you back. So she was just like kind of throwing it, and then when Lex would throw back, she would get like. So it's like Scotty's not a fighter. That's just what it is. If she's not a fighter, she never said she was. So that's that. But I low-key peeped that security was like quick with the defense. I was like, I mean, y'all definitely doing your job this time, but we're gonna talk about when they're not doing their job in a video or two. So then Scotty tries to hit Summers tries to hit Scotty again. Now Ivy runs up, and I'm so happy because she kept jumping. Summer's been jumping since she came on our screen. Like after her and Anna fought that first time, okay, fine. But after that, it was just constant jump, 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 and I was just over it. And then it looks like security fell into the water when like that was happening, and DTB was kind of walking up, but she wasn't walking up on Natalie, but they were hella close, and Natalie was just like, what's going on? So then Rolly tells Dolly to back up, like no jumping, and finally Ivory parks her. She was tagging her. I know a lot of people were just like, I mean, Summer kept up until they got to the ground. Summer, I wouldn't say the word kept up. She definitely defended herself until they got to the ground. However, once she got to the ground, finally, Ivory got her good. And
wait. Moment of silence for me. I got dragged. You know what?
I did see Natalie and Scotland in the background talking. I was like, what's tea? What's going on back there? And then Scotty just looked like she didn't want to hear whatever Natalie had to say, which I understand. Even though I feel like some people feel Natalie told Lex to do it, like without production knowing, but I definitely don't think she told Summer to jump in. And I mean, I don't know. Do I feel like Natalie did it? I don't know, because she's not really a good friend. If she did, that's whack, but if she didn't, okay. But Lex has been wanting to do it for a minute, so that's why I'm kind of like, maybe she didn't tell her, maybe just Lex was just, you know, being whack per usual and decided to do it. Oh, and then I hear Lex yelling, like, what are y'all doing? They're letting your friend get her karma. That is what they're doing. Period, point blank. Yeah. And then I felt Ivory was like screaming when they were fighting, and I felt that like in my soul. That was for Emmett Till. That was for everyone. That was for Slim's father. Like, yes, get her. And I was happy that Lex was upset. So yeah. And then also, I feel like Ivory low-key didn't beat her up just for Scotty. I feel like she also beat her up because Summer did jump Ivory. Like, when they were just meeting in Atlanta, Summer, like, tried to throw a drink and, like, jump in, but then Diamond got her, like, and then also at the reunion, like, Summer's always jumping, so Ivory was just over it. She was like, I'm sick of you! Which, I get that. Natalie says Scotty isn't fighting Lex anymore. Scotty gets upset and she's yelling about how Lex is mad and blah blah blah, and now Cold Killer wants to fight DTB because of the feature of the song and stuff with Tinka, and DTB said she didn't know her or the original song holder, and I completely believe it. The way she said it, it wasn't like someone who was lying. She was just like, I have no idea who you're talking to. And we don't either. No, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I didn't know of Cold Killer before she graced my screen on Baddies, so Maybe I might have heard of the song, but you know some of those songs you like know the rhythm, like but you don't really know the artist. It might have been one of those situations. They go 3 rounds. DTB was winning because she kept like slinging her, and even Gold Killer admitted in her confessional that she lost.
Alicia's got like 2 feet on me, like 100 pounds.
And then Summer keeps yelling, saying Scotty's ugly, liar. And then they go back and forth. Finally, Scotty and Lex run it up again, and Scotty scratched Lex's face. Okay, period. But of course, she's not a fighter, so I never expected like a lot from out of Scotty, and she doesn't really like talk a lot of ish that we see. Of course, behind the scenes, whatever. But in front of the screens, which I can only judge her on, I don't really see a lot of ish talking. But that's just me. So finally, they're done. Scotty was clocking Lex because Lex was just like, who jumps? And Scotty's just like, who bites? Who jumps? Who sneaks? Like, you can't be saying, oh, you're such a bad person because you jump and stuff. Girl, you did the exact same. And Scotty's never bit anyone. You bit her. But I low-key like that Lex was like, I bite back. And it's true. I mean, Jayla did bite her first. But Jayla said, I know y'all gonna be like, oh, you're just a Jayla fan. I am. Always will be. But she said, Lex is over here trying to ride for big N-word Gretch, but at the end of the day, she wanted you to feel like what it feels like to get bit. So just like Lex will never forgive Jayla for biting her, Jayla's never gonna forgive Lex. And for Lex to come on our screens and say, oh, I feel like you're a bully to Gretch, it's like, no. Someone had to clock that big giraffe lady. Ugh. So then they do like Batty Batty trying to clock, and Natalie notices that DTB isn't chanting. She asks her what's wrong, and DTB just, makes her happy and starts like fake twerking and stuff. And Nat says, everyone needs to take a shot because this season nobody is an OG or newbie, just a baddie. Which, do I understand that? I mean, I get it, but like, they're still gonna be OGs because they were on our screen first, like especially Rolly and Scotty. So I get what she's trying to do, but like, what's your position, Natalie? CEO? She kept saying that through this episode, and I was like, where's Zeus? Like, I mean, where's Lemmy? Like, where is the actual CEO saying, hey, stop saying that? Because if Zeus falls, will Natalie be in the courtroom to testify as CEO? I bet not. So, so then Russian Cream asked where Anna was. Nat said she had to let her go. Dolly starts D-rotting, and she just says, Natalie, big boss-ish. And I'm just like, girl, she would fire you too. And Dolly's older than like a lot of the girls, so she remembers BDC. I don't know. I think they're playing in my faces. Let me just sorry. So yeah, and then DTB is just like, oh, was she such a boss when she didn't give me my baddie chain? And I was like, clock it. But low key, like, I get it. It hurts Diamond that Natalie did not give her a baddie chain. But at some point, you have to let it go. Just like on Real Housewives, how Shameen keeps bringing up that Portia didn't know it was her singing. Like, these things are just really minor, and it's like, let's move on. That was like 2 seasons ago, babe. You have your baddie chain, and you are MVP, not MVP. So then Natalie tries to check Diamond, and then that goes nowhere. Then they go back and forth, and Natalie says she's sorry about not giving her flowers and showing her pure love, and Ivory's just like, you guys should hug, but Natalie's just like, no, because fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on moi. So then Elsie confronts Kay Rican, which I thought was really weird, but it was like about a situation that happened earlier. It was like about vaping. I'm assuming Kay Rican, well, I'm not assuming, she said she was vaping in a room, and Elsie was just like, you can't vape, and Kay Rican, I guess, felt that she was trying to be bossy because her grandfather's the VP of Zimbabwe, but Kay Rican's like, I'm grown, I do this. At the end of the day, I get it 50-50, because when you are in different territories, you should abide by their rules. However, I believe they were in Cape Town, which is not close to Zimbabwe. I could be wrong. Please don't scold me. I'm sorry. However, Kay Rican's grown, and a lot of people probably would have responded that way. Or a lot of people would have just been like, oh, my fault. You know the country more than me, so I will listen to you because you're probably more knowledgeable. So I'm like 50-50 on it. Like, I don't think she should have been like, no, I do what I want. But then again, Elsie, like, you're also not the boss. So I get it. So then I hollered when Kay said that about Elsie's wig. I was like,
and let me just ask you, is that your hair?
It's all my hair.
Why do you keep doing this?
It's all my hair.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So then they fight. Cold Killer jumps in, which I thought was super lame because Elsie is clearly not a good fighter. Like, she was doing worse than what Slim was doing last year. I was like, ooh, mama god. So then Tavi, she's like Elsie's good friend right now. And so she's like pulling Cold Killer off. She's like, you whack for that and whatever. And then she just started getting Elsie's face, like, you need to fight her. She tried to jump you, like, get her, get her. But if I was Cold and, like, Tavi was doing that, I would have been like, girl, you mad? Like, fight me. But, you know, that's just viewer's response. So then Tavi is pressing Elsie about fighting her and everything. And Kay and Elsie fight again. They land on the bed, and Kay got on top and started bop, bop, bop. And it looks like she started choking her. I was like, oh, is that a hand around her neck? Is that two hands around her neck? So then the other girls had to, like, get them off. And I was like, why is security not working when, like, Scotty's not fighting? But when she's fighting, they're, like, working overtime. I don't know. I love you, Scotty, but, I mean, it's obvious. So then Elsie starts crashing out little by little, and truly, this is when I realized she crazy as heck. She is crazy. Then Cold Killer and Elsie fight, and nobody was really winning. I mean, definitely, like, Elsie was not winning, but Cold was just kind of like, she's kind of like an average fighter to me. I don't know what it is. Like, she has tricks, but I don't know. Her fighting is a little forgetful, if that is kind of making sense. I don't know. But then they go again, and Elsie starts crashing out real bad. Ivory tries to calm her down, and Elsie's mad because Elsie thinks someone snuck her, and Ivory's like, no one snuck you. No one snuck you. You called out the fade. And I was just like, crazy. Someone tries to offer her a shot. We're not always trying to get drunk over here. Like, come on. And that annoyed Ivory, and I get it. And Ivory's just like, you need to back up. Like, I'm really not trying to, I don't like you. So while that's happening, Kay is cooling down, and Russian Cream out of nowhere, and if y'all forget, it's the girl with, like, the yellow-orange wig in her confessional. She's just like, oh, she needs her fade, because I'm assuming, okay, so this is what happened. Kay and Russian were talking, and they both called Elsie weird. And Kay told Elsie that Russian called her weird without saying that she called her weird also. But Elsie and Kay just fought. So when were they ever on good terms for her to go run back and say that she was weird? I don't know. It's just like, is this staged? Is this real? And if it is real, what the heck? These are not real valid reasons to fight. It's not like on BGC where you're in a house, no AC, no phones, no music, $500 a week, just liquor, and you fight over nothing. This is like, they have access to so many things, and they're still fighting over less.
Again, and that just shows, like, they're using Elise, and Elise is their puppet.
Sorry.
So, Zeusty better. But they agreed to wait until Kay Regan caught her breath, but then when more cameras came, Russian got, like, impatient. I did clock that. So then Russian's kind of trying to fight through security, whack. They're fighting and everything. Well, no, they don't fight, sorry. And then Russian tries to, like, kick the door down, and I low-key noticed she's, like, started getting bucked when an audience came, and it's just like, girl. So then Kay closes the door. Scotty tells her to save her energy. Scotty clocked it in the confessional about it being weird and how, like, everything happened before the cameras rolled, and I was like, exactly. And then Natalie wants to talk to DTB and says she doesn't want to, like, do the back and forth all season. Okay, copying, please. No, I'm playing. It's actually a boss thing to do, Natalie. I'm actually very proud of you. Until Natalie calls DTB a troll in her confessional and shows her the room. And Natalie tells DTB that she hates the clout chasing. And I'm just like, Natalie, you continue to be hypocritical. And it's starting to give me a headache. It's been 10 years. It's starting to give me a headache. So then Natalie tried clocking DTB about having Twitter fingers, and it was kind of cringe. And honestly, the whole time she was showing her this huge basement with the sauna and the gym and all this good stuff, I remembered a very important quote. Not everything that glitters is gold. And if I was DTB, I'd be like, I'll check into a hotel. Because it's a trap. It's a trap. Because either Natalie's giving her this big room when it's actually not a big room. It's just a basement that has a guest room and all these amenities. Because that looks like a place where, like, a lot of people go, like a lounge. Like, did she just give her the lounge guest room, not a real bedroom? One. Or she gave her this big, ginormous master suite for the other girls to fight DTB for it. So it's like, do not trust the chin. It's never gone in anyone's favor. And if you do trust the chin, But she was being condescending. I didn't like it at all. DTB doesn't realize like what she's doing, and if she does, she's definitely not showing her face. So it's like, okay, maybe she's smarter than us, and Ben knew that. But if she believed it, because it looked like she did believe it. But in her confessional, she was just like, oh, she's being so nice, and I'm like, delusion. So Natalie kind of just tells her to leave her alone, and she'll have a job as long as she's like leaving her alone. In a nutshell, it's basically all fake and weird. DTB tells us that she's a rapper. She came onto the show to promote her music because she said something about like taking her job, and Natalie was just like, oh, you think you can handle? You can't be fake around me. You can handle other issues, and I have to deal with people I don't like every day. Like, it was stupid. Scotty gets her own room, and Pretty Pete has a room. She says her and Ivory are sharing beds. I'm so happy I don't have a sister, because like I never really went through that. Rolly goes by the food, and I was like, typical, but it's okay. The food looked good. K. Rican calls Elsie a baboon. But like part of me, I was like, that's funny, but hold up. What is a baboon? I'm sorry, I'm gonna look it up real quick on my computer. I feel like, okay, it is like, it looks like a type of monkey, so I don't know how to feel about that. I don't want to make it into a big thing if it's not. However, when she said that, I was just like, okay, I don't know how to feel. Like, it's funny, but like, okay, I'm not going to be sensitive. I'm sorry. But I can see if people are a little offended. Like, that is a type of monkey. And then she also said that the third world country-ish got her messed up, and I was like, okay. Next, Tavi is yelling that she wants a bigger room, and she goes to Lex, Dolly, and Summer, the lame three. I don't know why. She ran past Rolly's room and was just like, oh, I respect Rolly. And then went to them three, and it's just like, okay, you don't respect them, girl, do not go in their room. They're weird. Dolly says that Tavi has to choose a side to be in their room. I mean, it was like only 3 beds. So at the end of the day, with or without a side, you can't sit with us. And I just feel like Tommy should have been like the definition of reading the room. Like, did your body not chill when you walked in here? Did you not get a headache? Did lightning not strike? Like, girl. Yeah, I don't know. Elsie is still tripping outside, and Rolly says that Elsie walked past Cold Kella, but that was the girl she wanted to fight. And I was like, this is fake. This can't be real, because like Rolly low-key clocked it, and I heard it. So I'm just like, ooh, what's going on? And low-key in her confessional, Elsie cannot keep her eyelids open. I was like, what's going on, Zeus? Ivory says that, to get Cold Killer, bring her outside, and Ivory's trying to teach Elsie how to fight while that's happening. Natalie tells DTB to stop them since she wants to be a mini CEO, and I'm like, Natalie, enough. We get what you're trying to do. Elsie says that Cold Killer needs her head on a stick, and I was like, cut, cameras down. Lex likes Elsie at first, but she didn't notice her, and I was just like, Lex, like, no one really noticed you. Whatever. Also, I noticed that why are Lex and Scotty so close in proximity? Like, it's giving fake. Clocked it. Scotty seems nice, and then, like, she's being nice with the girls. Russian Cream jumps on the crazy girl, but that was a dud because, the crazy girl's, like, just not really for it. When I mean crazy girl, I mean Elsie. Ivory says that they're scared because they're all talking from the balcony, and I was like, clock it. So then Fauna, when they get downstairs, Fauna hits her, and she's just like, I'm sick of her, so she hits her for her friend, because K. Rican wasn't feeling good, and I was low-key happy, because she just kept running her mouth low-key. And it was a good fight, like, low-key, was like, they were both hitting each other, but Fauna was definitely in there, and, but then there was a second with Russian Dingut on top, so I was just like, okay, they both, okay, I see it. Cold asked Summer to fight, and Cold was low-key getting it, but when security grabbed her, then Summer started, like, uppercutting her. But I did see that Summer's mouth was bloody. So, I don't know. Too many cameras. Nat says that she's not staying here, and that she's, going to go, and they can't fight all day. but like everyone else is in the same house, so that's interesting. Natalie says that she's gonna be around and she will be present, and so now it's the next day. And low key, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so much drama, and she spreads it out, but like it's only episode 3, and I was like, Lord have mercy, we're gonna be here till Christmas. Rolly and Scotty are talking in the kitchen, and Rolly says that Scotty stood up for herself. Period. I like Scotty's new confessional look. It was like the little like yellow thing, the yellow wig with like the black. It was cute. And she clocked, her tea in the confessional. I liked Pretty P's look as well. Sorry, I lost my place. Forgive me. So then they said that they're happy that Ivy got Summer because she's always jumping, and I was like, duh. And then Rolly's new confessional low-key looked recycled from her past one because it was like the same makeup and the same wig, and I was like, ooh, bunch of cuts. DTB walks in with a neck brace, and I was very surprised. DTB calls Cold Killer KKK, and I was like, interesting. Scotty asks how DTB feels, like with Natalie apologizing, and obviously, don't believe it, babe. Don't believe a word. I love DTB's confessional look. It was cute. And also, she's the second person with grills. Y'all need to watch Sinners, especially watch it. DTB is going to see Anna later. And then also, Diamond feels like Natalie's taking her anger out that she has for Anna on DTB. And I was like, that's an interesting theory. I don't believe it, but I get it. Rolly says that, because Scotty's like, I feel like a tree hit me. And Rolly's just like, it did, Lex. And I was like, stop. You guys are supposed to be friends. It's giving enemy. No, Rolly's always clocking Scotty, low-key. So then some girls are talking in a gazebo on water. And I was like, that's so cute. Cold said that she felt fighting, like how she felt fighting DTB. Tavi says she felt good fighting her because like all the bus she slipped and everything. And Paula basically clocked it in her confessional. She's just like, DTB was do. And then I loved her look, by the way. Russian Creams explains why she doesn't like Kay. And then Russian confessional, she got like a hand brace on, and I was like, oh my, what happened here? But it also looks recycled. Same wig and everything. Cold said that she jumped because Kay wasn't feeling good. She had like a stomach bug, but Tavi's clocking it, But I still don't really like Tavi because of what she did to DTB. So it's kind of like, okay, she's clocking it, just wrong person to clock it. Summer and Dolly popped up, and Dolly's confessional fit is cute with the little spiral things. P checked Summer for stealing, which I loved.
Her channel purse, yo!
Dolly clocks Gold. She's like, oh, you look different without, your black eyes, like without the makeup covering your black eyes. And then, Cole's just like, you look different without makeup as well, Buki. And then Summer runs up, but Cold Killer stood up and got it. So that's the end of the episode. Next time, Dolly versus Cold. It looks like Dolly was winning. Summer tried to jump. Ugh, whack. Where's Ivory? Ivory! Elsie and Lex come and they fight Kay. Well, Elsie fights Kay. DTB visits Anna. Natalie talks to the new 3. Tavi versus Kay. Elsie versus Fauna. And then Summer versus Kay. So yeah, that was the end of the episode. Y'all let me know how you feel. Y'all let me know comments and everything. Make sure you like it. Subscribe as well. And we're out. Bye.
My newest look like.
My opinion, no one is really winning, but I mean, at the same time, this person keeps calling me. Hi, lover girls. Hi, lover boys. Wait, hold up. So they fight, and Cold Killer jumps in, lame, and oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hey, lover girls. Hi, lover. Sorry.